hope you got something on that blood.
That's why my algorithms have been destabilizing.
Wait, Dr. Bowles? Bro! I'm not doing this right now.
Hi, everybody.
I'm really kind of used to you not telling me stuff.
Hey everybody, what's up? Good to see all you good folks.
Mr. Rivers had at least 3 attempts on his life.
Oh, y'all some good looking people. What's up, fun? You know it's true.
It is absolutely the
You
truth.
know it's true.
It is the truth.
It
Yes.
is a fact.
It is.
It is a fact. I can't wait till we all get together, though. We're gonna have a damn good time.
All right, I'm excited.
I am too. I really am. And I'm gonna run in here a minute before they get started. I'll see you in a minute.
All righty.
When Craig went down,
Recording in progress.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start shortly. We want to welcome everyone to the Flat Belly Lifestyle Boot Camp. We're going to do a quick little roll call to see who's out there. So if you want to unmute yourself, let's see who's out there. And we're going to start in less than 60 seconds.
Hi, this is Maria's mom, Mitchell.
Welcome.
Hi, this is Sylvia Covington.
Sylvia, welcome.
Hi, this is Royal from Lansing, Illinois.
Royal, welcome.
Hello, this is Cheryl from Glenwood, Illinois.
Cheryl, look at you. Welcome.
Hello, this is Jill from Chicago.
Hey, Gia, welcome.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Ann from Atlanta.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Dana Webster from Delaware.
Hey, welcome.
Natalie Kelly Small, Pittsburgh, PA.
Welcome. Got people from all over the country today.
Yes.
This is
Sharonda LeBou from Baltimore, Maryland.
Hey, welcome.
Fred Shelton from St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome, welcome.
Hi, I'm Leah Ware from Denver, Colorado.
Oh, welcome.
Hello. Hi.
Chicago.
Hey, welcome.
Vivica Jones from Chicago.
That sounds like my shiro, Miss Melissa. How are you? Shirley in Chicago.
Hey, welcome her, Vivica, her Shirley. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Hello, Naina from Chicago.
Welcome.
Janine Bradford from Chicago.
Welcome, welcome.
Kanika Williams from Bowie, Maryland.
Welcome.
Eric Lindsay from Chicago.
Welcome, welcome.
Minister Mooney, Chicago.
Hey, welcome.
Hello.
Another 30 seconds, so you can go ahead. Who's up there?
Erica Padmore, Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, welcome. Anyone else before we start in less than 10 seconds?
Nisi Randall from Louisville, Kentucky.
Hey, welcome. We got at least half our states represented today. Let's see here. We're going to get this show started. If you're a guest, I want to give you a special shout out and welcome you. In fact, you can let us know in the chat if you are a guest and who invited you. We always like to thank the person and acknowledge them for caring enough to share it with someone they want to bless. So welcome, welcome. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me share my camera here. So it's been a busy day. Just literally got in from another party. We've been partying it up all day with these amazing flat belly challenges and so many activities. But hello, everyone. Good evening. So excited to see each and every one of you. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. So one moment. Oh, wow. We have a guest of Eric. That's Willie Mooney. Wonderful. Yay. Hello. Nice. Okay, good stuff. Everyone's letting us know who invited them out. So wonderful to hear from all of our guests. Thank you so much for sharing with us who invited you. Again, we always like to acknowledge that person who thought enough of us to care to get us on the line today. And so before I give you guys my quick little testimonial, I want to go ahead and share my screen first. So let me share my screen. I think we're now sharing it. Yay. Go ahead and put it in full mode here. Okay. All right. I want to welcome everyone to the Flat Belly Lifestyle. So excited. First of all, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule today. I truly know that today's call is going to be a blessing. We're going to share with you some principles regarding our flat belly lifestyle, and we are going to hear some live testimonials so that you can just see what the flat belly lifestyle is doing. My name is Melissa Boston. I'm actually one of the co-authors for the Flat Belly Lifestyle. I know if you had a chance to hear our first opening call we did on August the 1st, I had a chance to share my story. I'm not going to go into those details tonight, but I will point you to our ebook. It's going to give you just a little bit more insight about what really motivated and inspired me to get on this healthy journey and this healthy lifestyle. I'm sure many of you today, perhaps you have your own reason for wanting to learn a better way. So many times it takes us actually having some major issues before we actually, looks like somebody is logging in from, 1 second, guys. Make sure someone's logging in from another device. Let's be careful there. Okay, great. Don't want to interrupt our call. But again, so welcome. And so one of the things we address in the Flat Belly Lifestyle, it's the question that I'm going to ask each and every one of you. And the question is, when the big bad wolf, and that's known as disease, comes knocking at your door, what will your house be made of? And our house represents what? Our body. And so we went through the story and used that as an analogy that there's different types of homes we can build. You know, there's different types of bodies we can build. We can build a strong body. We call that the brick body. We can also build a body that's sort of average, and that's the stick body. And then we have the straw house, okay? And that's the ticking time bomb, someone who really hasn't paid attention to their health. And so the question again is, what is your house made of? In fact, we have a quiz. Hopefully you've had a chance to take our quiz and answered and really found out for yourself, you know, the habits that you've been doing, the lifestyle choices that you've made over the past few decades. You know, what have those done to set you up for either great health or you need improvement? And so just know this, that your physical body, it's a brilliant machine, and it's the most brilliant machine you will ever own, okay? Know that. And within our body, we actually have something known as our microbiome. And I really want you to think about that today in terms of when we say the word home as it relates to your body. I want you to start really thinking about your gut, because we know that it's that life or death that really begins in that gut, our gut health. You know, if you show us your gut health, we're going to show us your future. And so we're really going to look into that in great detail as we discuss the flat belly lifestyle. And I also want to introduce a concept to you today as it relates to food that we're eating. And I want you to start looking at food as the rent money you pay to actually live in your body. Think about that for a second. In fact, the quality of your food is going to make all the difference. I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to show you why the choices are either setting you up to have a home full of vitality or setting you up for eviction. And that means when the body is absolutely so broke down that it literally tries to evict you from your own body. We don't want that to happen. And so we're going to look at this today in great depth so that we can make the right choices. But here's the good news. You know, I always like to bring good news, you know, as we talk about some of these principles. You were born into wealth, okay? You were born with access to everything you need to live in the most amazing home. In terms of your gut health, I want you to think about it in a whole nother realm. Imagine being born into $7.2 million that you have to spend. And some of us have spent that money in a way that's actually helped us build the most amazing home that's working with so much vitality. And some of us are nearly bankrupt, okay? But just know that we were born with a life ahead of us that was really full of abundance, but it's up to the choices that we make every single day. And just to show you how brilliant you are, because a lot of times we don't even know our own brilliance. I want you to think about this for a second. When you were conceived, do you know that you actually beat out 200 million other sperm just so that you're here today? I want you to think about that. So that already means that you are a winner. You have everything within you that it takes to succeed. So what are some of the challenges, right? You know, what are some of the ways where we've actually bankrupt our own health? What have we done with this brilliant machine that our creator designed for us? First, we have to think about the danger of the processed foods and the fast foods. I want you to think about the danger of these cheap foods that are highly addictive with no nutritional value that really works to destroy our very home in which we reside. It works to destroy the microbiome. I want you to think about that for a second. In fact, when we combine some of these poor foods, some of this poor nutrition with a sedentary lifestyle, think about it as just as damaging as smoking. In fact, some of the latest research says that if you're eating a diet that lacks nutritional value, if you're eating a diet full of processed foods, plus you're sedentary, do you know that they're comparing that to someone who's smoking cigarettes every single day? So you might have spent your whole life avoiding cigarettes, but those two things set you up to be a ticking time bomb. And not to mention that in certain communities, we have what they call the food deserts. That means there's basically sometimes miles before you actually can find a grocery store that has the fresh fruits and vegetables that we need to sustain ourselves. I want you to think about the fact that some kids, when actually a poll was done in certain neighborhoods, they didn't even know what broccoli looked like. I want you to imagine how scary that is. And that's one of the reasons why, if we have children that are born after the year 2000 and they're African American, they actually have a 1 out of 2 chance of being diabetic in their lifetime if they're born after the year 2000. And the same applies for Hispanic kids. If they're non-Hispanic or African American, it's 1 out of 3. So regardless, our children also are facing the consequences of this new lifestyle. And here's what even makes it worse. When you think about this so-called healthy diet, right? The so-called healthy foods that we're taught to eat, we're taught this food pyramid. We're explaining this whole standard American diet. And if you look at that as an acronym, it actually spells out the word SAD, okay? And so here we are on the standard American diet. We're doing everything they tell us to do. Eat all of these grains and eat all of these pretty much processed grains. And look what happens. We end up overweight. We end up sick. We end up full of disease. And so now let's kind of compare that, because oftentimes people think, well, we're in the United States. I mean, this is one of the richest countries in the world. We have access to so much. And that's true. But why is it that here we are in the United States, one of the greatest countries in the world, but the reality is we rank 37th in the world for average life expectancy. And what that means is there are third world countries that are actually outliving us, and we have access to so much. And when you think about the fact that we're spending over $2 trillion on our food, and it's food that's not sustaining us, and so we turn around and now we're spending $2.5 trillion on our healthcare. And so we've been set up for failure. We've been set up for failure here in this country. And so it's time for us to look at this in a new way. It's time for some new solutions. And so let's look at some of the ways we can actually get healthy. So we hear about eating healthy food, right? And oftentimes we think about fresh fruits and vegetables. We think about organic as expensive, but if we don't pay the price now, we're going to pay for it on the other end. But we also have to realize this is the food that has high nutritional value. This is the food that's not always equally accessible to everyone, but it's actually the food that feeds our microbiome, okay? This feeds our gut. It gives us all the healthy things we need to be vital. And one of the things that we did when we were preparing the Flat Belly Lifestyle, we wanted to look out there and just really see who are some of the healthiest people in the world, because so many times, you look at so many different diets and we get confused because there's so many different opinions on what we should eat. But we always like to base it off of not just the science, right? But also real people around the world achieving amazing benefits. There's something called the blue zones. And the blue zones are actually regions where a higher than usual number of people live much longer than the average person. In fact, there are 5 blue zones around the world. So whether we go to Japan, whether we go to a part of Italy, whether we go to Sardinia, whether we go to Greece, whether we go to Costa Rica, or even there's a place in the United States, Loma Linda, okay? And these are the blue zones where people live the longest lives. Wouldn't you want to know what it is that they're doing to actually sustain those type of lives and have the vitality that they have? I mean, who wants to know, right? Everyone wants to find out what are they doing in these blue zones. And so if you start really breaking it down and analyzing it, when I think about the Japanese cuisine and the lifestyle, they actually eat carbs. Oftentimes we hear carbs as a bad thing, but when you look at the type of carbs the Japanese are eating, yes, they're eating the rice, but they're loading their plates with vegetables. They eat lots of sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are actually high in what we call resistant starches. Resistant starches actually feed the microbiome, all those good, healthy gut bacteria. And then when you start thinking about even the Scandinavian culture, they eat lots of carbs. But again, it's the quality and the types of carbs they're eating on a daily basis. And so that, first of all, made me realize it's not that carbs are bad. It's just that all carbs are not created equal. And then when you start to really think about the type of carbs we're bombarded with here in the United States, it's the bad carbohydrates, right? So here we are, we're born with all of this amazing wealth when it comes to health. But it's kind of like we're misspending our inheritance. We know that feeling good and living an abundant life, it's our birthright. But if we misspend our inheritance, then what it does is it sets us up for failure. And so we've got to navigate this, but do so in a way where we actually can make life-sustaining results. And so you might have looked at programs like the keto diet. Right now, everywhere you look, you're hearing keto, keto, keto. I even find myself, there's times when I do make choices to buy something that's more paleo or keto, because I automatically know that a lot of times they're picking better types of ingredients. But here's one thing to understand for those of you who've ever went keto, perhaps you're considering going keto. The flat belly lifestyle, it's not a keto diet, okay? If you look at the keto diet, it reduces your carbs down to 20 grams of carbs every single day. And what that does is it pushes your body into ketosis. And that's when your body now starts utilizing the reserve, right? And you're actually becoming this fat burning machine. But there's some challenges that we have with just strictly going keto. First of all, it's not sustainable for most people to eat 20 carbs a day or less for the rest of their life. I mean, how boring is that, right? Most people would rather just die a slow death, right? Than to do that every single day of their life. And so, but there are principles inside the keto plan that actually make sense. And so what we've done is, after evaluating what some of the longest living cultures do, start evaluating some of the latest research surrounding some of the programs here in the United States that work, we've actually delivered something out there that's revolutionary, a program that no one else has, and we call that our flat belly lifestyle. In fact, when we analyze the keto diet, we've seen some great results. I mean, people absolutely lose weight, and they're even studying some of the anti-cancer effects of the diet. But it really comes down to the fact that we know that sugar feeds cancer. So if we can help reduce the sugar content, we can absolutely help turn off some of those cancer-causing cells. And so that's pure basic science. And so again, this is not the keto diet, but you're going to hear some principles that are going to be a little bit similar. One of the things we really didn't like about the keto diet is they really don't put a restriction on the amount of saturated fat. So even though there's some short-term health benefits, the long-term consequences haven't really been evaluated. And one of the other reasons why, when you think about the cultures in Japan and Scandinavia who live to be so long, they do eat carbs because one of the only ways to fuel your gut health is through carbs, but it's the healthy carbs. In fact, when we look at our ancestors who literally we've survived, right, for thousands of years, right, how we've done that is eating a diversified diet that's feeding the gut health. And unfortunately, we can't get those good gut bacteria that we need through processed meats and heavy cheeses. And so again, we're going to show you some principles that will allow you to get some of the benefits of keto, but we're going to do it in a way that actually supports gut health and longevity, okay? And so again, one of the challenges with that program, it fails to really address gut health, and it fails to have any long-term clinicals that really showcase how this can benefit us for the long haul. And we want a program that's going to benefit us for the long haul. And so of course, when we think about the microbiome, and we think about the fact that this consists of over 100 trillion microbes, 90% of chronic disease and 80% of our immune system is controlled by our gut health. So we know it's so critical to feed our gut bugs things they need to replicate the good ones and get rid of the bad ones. And that comes through a variety of our fruit and vegetables, our resistant starches. And in the keto program, they pretty much get rid of all resistant starches, and we need those if we're going to have good gut health, which is why so many people going keto get really constipated. And so research shows that our microbiome is essential to longevity. We have survived thousands of years off of diet diversity, so we need that diversity. And so with the flat belly lifestyle, here's the good news. Today is what we call payday. See, everyone loves payday, right? We get paid on Friday or whatever day that is, and it's time to celebrate. And so for those of you who've been yo-yo dieting, you've been on program after program after program and nothing's worked. Maybe you're here right now because you have some health challenges. Maybe you feel like, wow, Melissa, that $7.2 million inheritance that I had with my gut when I was born, it seems like it's depleted. Well, don't worry, we're putting money back into you, okay? This is payday. And so how payday works here with the flat belly lifestyle, first of all, we're writing a check to you, right? And that check is not a literal check, but it's a check you're actually going to write to yourself. And it's a down payment on your new home. It's a down payment on you redesigning your microbiome. And that check today that we're going to give you, it's $5,650.50. Anyone excited about getting a check that you can write to yourself for $5,650? And so what we're going to do Now we can write it for something bigger, right? But we recognize that most of us, we're suffering from things like metabolic disorder, insulin resistance, and a lot of that has caused our insulin to be off balance, our blood sugar to be off balance. And so one of the reasons why we have to keep some of our carb count a little bit low in the beginning, because we got to first reset our system so that we can get rid of those cravings. And so the best strategy that I can give you when you're following the flat belly lifestyle is your first 7 days. The way our program works to really maximize it, we always tell you, you don't have to count calories. In fact, we don't even require that you count carbs. In fact, most of our participants have lost dozens of pounds with never even counting carbs. But for those of you who understand what's at stake, right? Not only is your health at stake, but over the next 60 days, we have a prize that we're giving out, a dream vacation, we're giving out cash. And so you want to be really competitive, okay? So I'm going to give you all my best secrets, right? That I use sometimes with private clients on how they can really accelerate their fat burning systems, okay? And so the first 7 days, I want you to think about your carb count like money. And I'm going to give you $50, that's 50 grams of carbs to spend every day for 7 days. Once you're past those first 7 days, the next 53 days, you can actually up that to $100. So if you add this up over the course of these 60 days, you're going to end up with $5,650. Now, I don't know how I gave you 50 cents, so that 50 cents was a little extra, right? But it's really an even $5,650 over the next 60 days. If you stay within those parameters, one of the things I can promise you is you're going to get some amazing results. Now, we know that individual results vary, but we know that it's science. You know, weight loss, weight management, getting healthy really boils down to scientific evidence that we've proven through years and years of research and actually seeing live experiences. And so what I'm going to do now is kind of show you real quick, just so that you can kind of get an idea of how quickly we use up our carb bank account, okay? And in our program, here's what I want you to do. If you go over the 50, here's what happens. I don't want you to look at it like, oh, okay, you know, I can just use some of the money that I have tomorrow. No, that means you're misspending your account. What happens when people misspend their account? They get kicked out of their home, they get bankrupt. And in this scenario, when we misspend what we're supposed to do for our health, our body eventually evicts us, okay? But I'm gonna show you just quickly so that you can see how quickly carbs eat up, or carbs get eaten up. And here in this country, we're on carb overload, right? We have carbs all around us. And so even some of the healthy foods, like a ripe banana, I mean, that's 27 grams of carbs. So if you were trying to stay under 50, well, guess what? One banana is almost wiping you out for the day. And then think about a cup of cooked rice, 53 grams. Even brown rice, 52 grams. Black rice, you're doing a little bit better, but it's still 34 grams. And then if you look at cooked pasta, I mean, how many people love pasta? That's 56 grams. You know, here's the good news. We actually will show you today some pasta that you can actually eat that has actually less than 5 calories and just one net carb, less than 5 calories. And so you're not gonna have to worry about not having these type of foods. We're gonna just show you a better way to eat them so that you can get out of this what you really need. And think about oatmeal. Now we know that oatmeal has tons of fiber, right? But look, 27 grams of carbs, right? A dinner roll. And at dinner time, we don't just eat one dinner roll. We eat 2, 3, or 4. We might have had oatmeal for breakfast. And then all of a sudden we're having some sweet potatoes with that. So you can quickly see the challenges we have losing weight here in the United States based on the fact that we have processed foods all around us. And for those of you who really get involved in unhealthy lifestyles, think about something like a can of soda. I mean, a can of soda is about 39 grams of carbs. So you have 2 of those, and oh my goodness, now you're at 80 grams of carbs just in empty calories that add no nutritional value. So imagine a cupcake. I mean, how many times, you know, we have that cupcake, then we have another cupcake. Before you know it, you're over 60 grams of carbs. French fries. I mean, who has popped a few French fries right in your mouth? Like, okay, you know, we can eat these as potatoes, but look how many carbs. In fact, if you live in Chicago, we have a very famous pizza place, right? Giordano's here, the cheesy stuffed pizza. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but just one slice of that, okay? One slice of that is setting us up for 54 grams of carbs. And think about how many times you don't just have one slice, you have 2 slices, perhaps 3 slices. Sometimes our kids will eat 4 slices. That's over 200 grams of carbs. But now here's the good news about the pizza. It does have a little bit of fiber, okay? So you can always subtract your fiber from total carb count. And so your net carbs was actually just 48. Okay, but that's still too high. And so look at this. I mean, see, we're already exceeding our budget. See, that excess money doesn't go towards, rent. It actually goes towards wasteful spending. Wasteful spending. And what that does is it sets us up for eviction. And here's the reality. The reality is we want to put our body in a good state, right? A good state where we're experiencing these health benefits, but we have to take care of this body we have been given as a gift. Our physical body is a one-time gift granted to us by our amazing creator, and it is the only place we have to live. It's the only place. And knowing that, it means we have to think differently about what we're putting into our body and how we're spending that inheritance. And so the flat belly lifestyle isn't a diet. See, that's the other good news. It's designed to be fun. It's designed to be simple, affordable, and absolutely delicious, okay? And so what we've done with the flat belly lifestyle to really make this simple, in fact, even in my home, I've zoned my home, okay? And so I have 4 zones. Zone 1, that's all the food that you can enjoy daily. Zone 2, those are foods that you need to watch those portions, but you can still enjoy them 2 to 3 times per week. Zone 3, enjoy once a week. And zone 4, you want to avoid or enjoy monthly, okay? Avoid or enjoy monthly for those of you who just can't give up some of these items. And so to make it so simple, by color coding food, it makes you think differently. Like if you open up my cabinet over there, I have my zone, even in my refrigerator, my zone 1 foods, right? And then I have my zone 2. And so I know that if it's zone 1, I can just eat it until my heart's desire. In fact, some of the most delicious foods that you're going to ever eat are going to be made right out of zone 1. And that allows you just an unlimited pass, right? So you never have to feel like you're dieting because you're not going to be on some starvation program. Other foods that are in zone 1 are foods like your onions and your garlic and all the vegetables that grow above the ground, right? And those are your leafy greens, your cauliflower, your broccoli, right? Your cabbage, all of those, and asparagus, everything that grows above the ground. Now, when it grows below the ground, or if it's a banana, bananas are fruit, right? But there's certain fruit like berries that are in zone 1. So your berries you can actually eat every day, but you still got to be mindful because there's going to be some carbs in that berry. And so remember, we're giving you that budget of 50 a day, okay? But there's other foods like your bananas, but we don't eat yellow bananas. We eat green bananas. Here's the difference between a yellow and a green banana. A yellow banana acts in your body as pure sugar, which means if you have insulin problems, it's going to drive up your insulin. But if it's a green banana, do you know that most of it is actually resistant starch? So it actually becomes like a prebiotic that builds and feeds your gut health. And so you need good foods that build that gut health, and foods like your sweet potatoes are going to build your gut health. The reason why your beets and your carrots you have to limit because those are also foods that turn quickly into sugar. But think about the keto diet. See, they've eliminated a whole food group, right? We can't eliminate food that's sustained us for thousands of years, right? This is food that has so many phytonutrients, things that we need to build that microbiome. But again, we do it in moderation, understanding the impact of the sugar. And then we have other food that's in our zone 2, where we're eating this 2 to 3 times a week, whether it's our salmon, our sardines. In fact, sardines are one of the ones we can actually really eat if we wanted to every day, have a little bit, of sardines. I mean, great for you. Your wild caught fish is what we emphasize with your zone 2 living. You can have your shrimp, your seafood. When you think about seafood, seafood is something our ancestors have survived on for generations. And so anything that has not been newly introduced to our microbiome, you think about it for a second. It's food that our body already understands what to deal with. But the key is we can't have the farm-raised fish. We need the wild caught. So that's what we do differently with the flat belly lifestyle. We do this with our wild caught fish and seafood. So that's good news, right? So yeah, you can have your shrimp, you can have your salmon, you can have your halibut, okay? Some other items in zone 2, we know that nuts are very healthy, but we know that if you eat excess nuts, too much nut butters, they can quickly pack on the pounds. So of course you can eat these. They're not going to really affect the carb count. They have just a little bit of carbs in our nuts and nut butters. Our goat cheese is another item. You can have it several times a week. So these are good fats that are going to satiate the appetite. It's going to really get you feeling excited, like you're not on some deprivation program. And then of course, things like chicken, okay? We know that many people love their chicken. One of the key things we do with the flat belly lifestyle is we emphasize pasture raised, okay? You don't want chickens that are eating wheat, soy, and other grains, right? You don't want, chickens that are eating those, because if they're eating those, now you're eating those. You are exactly what the animal you consume is consuming. And so you want a chicken that's eating what? On the pasture, because that's where chickens are meant to eat. And they shouldn't be these big fat chickens. They should be little chickens. And you have local places in your city that actually sell pasture-raised chicken. And pasture-raised chicken is not free range. Free range basically means they let them run out of the cage, but they still might eat the soy, they still might eat the corn, and they might eat the wheat. Pasture-raised is the highest level of quality chicken, and this is what our microbiome is used to. We're used to eating chickens occasionally that actually come from eating pasture. And so here's the deal, even in Japan, those blue zones that I explained to you, in many of those cultures, that's what they eat. They eat the pasture-raised chicken maybe once a week, sometimes twice a week, but they don't eat chicken that's eating corn, wheat, and soy, okay? That's gonna destroy your microbiome. And when you think about some other items, some people want to eat beef. And I always say, don't, eat beef, but if you have to eat beef, only consume grass-fed and grass-finished. It has to be grass-fed and grass-finished, but we put that in zone 4. And what does zone 4 mean? It means once a month or avoid completely, okay? Once a month. But so that's the good news. For those of you who just have to have, that occasional beef, well, then guess what? We have something for you. And then of course, there are people that feel like they can't live without pork, okay? And so we also put that in zone 4. Either avoid it or have it just once a month. And so with that said, we also have some exciting snacks that we've added to zone 1. Whether it's our pasta noodles, for those of you who want to have pasta several times a week, hey, you might have this every day. It's only 5 calories, and that's actually made from a vegetable. So these are very healthy carbs that are actually 1 net carb, okay? Our monk fruit is one of the ways we sweeten our coffee. You can use it to sweeten other beverages. And then we have our So Delicious brand that has no sugar added and actually has coconut in place of dairy. So there are certain snacks that we've approved. If you have to have it daily, guess what? It's not going to impact the program. And then there's other snacks that we put on there that we put in zone 2. A few times a week is fine. Rotate these, whether it's the cauliflower pizza crust, whether it's the paleo waffles, whether it's the paleo pancakes, or the cauliflower sandwich thins that you can use for your sandwiches. You love butter pecan ice cream? Well, guess what? We have a butter pecan ice cream with 1 net carb, okay, that you can have, and it's not going to derail your program. We have some dark chocolate and dark chocolate covered almonds. In fact, we have a whole grocery list that we give you so that you know exactly what to eat every single day. And we actually even have some meal plans. So we're super excited about our program. And so let's recap what the flat belly lifestyle is, and then we're going to go through our amazing products. There's 3 of them. So the flat belly lifestyle is really designed to improve gut health, to increase overall health, to boost energy, to gain mental clarity, to help you lose weight, burn belly fat, to reduce lectin-containing foods. You're going to notice this is absent of tomatoes and cucumbers. Now, those have lots of nutrients in there. But one of the things we learned from our Italian ancestors, right, is that when you go back and trace generationally, they always remove the seeds and skin of the tomato. They found that those were very high in anti-nutrients. We call those now lectins. They actually have a name, but oftentimes people would eat those tomatoes and wonder why their arthritis would flare up, or maybe their acne and skin would break out. Well, guess what? Everything in nature is designed to give birth to future generations. And so if we have fruit that has these soft seeds and we're eating those soft seeds, well, guess what? That's the future generation of those tomatoes. So nature will find a way to correct you. And unfortunately, in this society, instead of feeling the consequences, we go grab an antacid, we go grab some Tums, and unfortunately, those destroy our microbiome, and they just mask symptoms of something we should be avoiding, or either removing those seeds and removing the skin. We also designed this to control your cravings, to reduce that belly fat. You know, we've limited to 50 grams of net carbs, and so this is net carbs. So that's a term you're going to hear a lot. And what's exciting about net carbs is when you look at the carb count, you're able to subtract the grams of fiber, you're able to subtract any sugar, alcohol. So there could be something that has 14 grams of carbs, but the net carb might be 2. And the 2 is all you have to count. You don't have to count the 14. So remember, when you look at a package and you're looking at the label, look at your total carbs, but then look at how much fiber it has, subtract that. If there are any sugar, alcohols, not sugar, sugar, alcohols, subtract that. And that is what gives you your net carb. And so we're limiting this to 50 net carbs daily for the first 7 days. On day 8, go ahead and increase that to 100 grams. Now, for those of you who find that you're really in heavy fat burning mode with those 50 grams and you feel like you can stay in that zone, you can stay there actually for several weeks, okay, and keep that body in that fat burning zone. But we want to ultimately provide you with a lifestyle that offers the diet diversity that your microbiome is craving. And also, too, there's 3 supplements, and I want to go over those supplements that you're going to incorporate. So one of the other things we found is that in many people that are suffering from pain and obesity and just being overweight in general, they have high levels of inflammation, extremely high, dangerous levels of inflammation. And so our products actually, everything except our bitters, we've infused it with cannabidiol. It's also known as CBD. It's the healthy part of the cannabis plant. So it's not going to make you high. It's going to bring down those inflammation levels. And as you bring those levels down, what you're going to find is some people, with not even using these products, they use our regular CBD products and they experience weight loss. But we know that at some point the body plateaus where you need more assistance. And so what we've done is we've introduced 3 products. One of them is our step 1, which are our flat belly bitters. And what we love about the flat belly bitters, it allows you to evict the bad guys, right? We know these bad guys have taken hostage of our system. And unfortunately, this causes these out of control cravings. We got to get them removed, because once they move out of our system, we now take control of our cravings, because now now the cravings aren't controlling us anymore. Step 2, you want to burn fat. You want to further reduce your cravings, and you want to also boost your metabolism. And so what we have for that, it's our flat belly brew, also known as our flat belly coffee. What's exciting about this coffee, it absolutely tastes delicious. And then we have step 3. Now, step 3 is designed to curb the appetite. It's really designed to help you make sensible choices. See, when we can curb our appetite and improve our gut health, we start making smart choices. And so that's what the flat belly lifestyle is designed to do. It's the perfect system to give your body what it's needing so that you can take control of your health, take control of your life. Now, here's some optional items that I want to point you to until we get to the end and close it out. And that's our optional workouts, okay? Monday through Friday, feel free to join us. You can go to Rebound with Wakana every morning at 8:30 a.m. Central. Now, working out is optional, but if you want to accelerate those results, we highly encourage you to get moving. At least walk on the program. Even though you don't have to work out, if you don't take some action towards activity, you're still setting yourself up for failure. So whether you rebound every day, you get out and walk, or you join us, by going to Rebound with Wakana, and you can join DJ Dr. Roz, or you can join us every Wednesday with Ernestine Davis at 6 a.m. and that's Workout with Wakana. Those are 2 links. You go to those and you can join us and actually participate in some fun, functional movement to get the body moving and moving in the right direction. Now, in addition to that, I want to address something for some of you who might experience this during your first few weeks after you complete your bitters. Now, when you do your bitters, obviously it's going to help you have some of the best elimination of your life. We know that if you're not eliminating, the average person has about 8 undigested meals in their gut, which is setting you up for disease and toxicity, right? We got to remove all that waste so that we can have optimal health. But what happens is once we get past the detox portion, people kind of gravitate towards zone 2 and zone 3, because guess what? You can actually lose a lot of weight living in zone 2 and zone 3. The bottom line, the reason why when you're eating certain carbs, it has you eliminate faster, because carbs don't stay in the system long, which is why you eat and then gain weight. With fats and meat, they stay in the system a little longer, so it reduces the cravings and you start to lose a little bit of weight. But what happens is if you're too far into just zone 2 and 3, you might get constipated, right? So if you start getting constipated, it automatically tells me that you're not eating enough what? Of the berries, of the greens, and of the vegetables that grow above the ground. So here's some tips for anyone that might find that you struggle with constipation, okay? First of all, you want to get on our bitters detox for 4 days. That's going to immediately help to take away that constipation. See, when you take something that's bitter, it immediately starts to stimulate digestive movement, and it starts to get those stomach acids moving in the right direction. See, you don't need antacids, which are going to kill your gut bacteria. Just get bitters, and that's going to stimulate the right activity. Step number 2, you can drink flat belly coffee. That's going to help you to have better bowel movements. Add our new King T'Chaga. Many of you have experienced the results of that, but that helps to increase elimination. You can include more zone 1 and zone 2 food selections, okay? That's going to help increase your bowel movement. Increase your fiber. I know oftentimes people will substitute with things like psyllium husk. Excellent for you to really increase those bowel movements. Probiotics, prebiotics, enzymes, great ways to increase the bowel movements. Increase your daily water. Oftentimes people are just dehydrated. You're not drinking enough water. That will help you have proper bowel movements. And in fact, consume at least 8 glasses per day. And you want to stimulate your lymphatic system with those fun, functional exercises. If you're moving on that rebounder every single day, you're going to have good bowel movements and following these steps. And so what I want to do before we open it up for some testimonials, I want to give you some of the next steps. First, if you haven't done so, you want to go to gummychallenge.com and join us over the next 60 days and experience a lifestyle full of fun and vitality. You want to click on register. When you click on register, it gives you the instructions on how to download your ebook. In fact, for those of you who might have already registered, now you just need your ebook and grocery list. You're going to go to gummychallenge.com/downloads, okay? You want to print out that grocery list. You want to download that ebook, and the ebook will take you through everything you need to know, all the recipes, the meal planning, everything to set you up for success. And then also too, you want to send those before pictures to support@wakana.com. And so with that said, we invite you to join us on this flat belly challenge. We actually have 3 different categories. Our first place, you're going to have a chance to win that dream vacation. Second place, $1,000 cash. And third place, $500 cash and free product. It's amazing how this simple system is changing so many lives. And so what I want to do real quick as we close it out, we want to wrap it up by sharing some live testimonials. We want to hear from you, from those of you who are on our program and experiencing results. Maybe you have some challenges. You have some questions. This is the place to get those questions answered. You can hit us up in the chat. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and invite those of you who are on our program to share some of your experiences. And so I'm going to go ahead and let the lines open up. And let's just see if there's someone who wants to speak first before I start calling on some of you on the line.
Hey, Melissa, it's Kathy.
Hey, Kathy, how you doing?
I am so great. I am loving everything that you talked about tonight. The flat belly lifestyle is what I want. I want my flat belly. I'm loving that the bitters is part of this challenge as well. On the first bitters challenge a few weeks ago, I'm now down 24 and so excited to come to Chicago, see you guys, and really continue into the Flat Belly Lifestyle Challenge. I love how it incorporates really well with our lifestyle. It's easy stuff to prepare. It's new things to put in your repertoire. I don't know about you guys, but I love food, but sometimes it gets boring cooking and making the same things. So I'm loving that we've got these new easy recipes that are working. And so I'm just excited about all the stuff that you're giving us as far as knowledge, solidifying why we need to do this. And I'll let somebody else speak, but I'm looking forward to moving forward to some more flatness in my belly.
Well, Kathy, I want to just say amazing job being down 24 pounds. That is just incredible. I mean, that is just, to me, it's mind blowing. I mean, I know we've worked together before on other programs, and I know I've seen you lose some weight, but kind of compare that to this challenge, because I don't know that I've ever seen you lose 24 pounds.
No, it's been the same 8 pounds that I keep losing, right? We've done this a couple of times and it literally is the same freaking 8 pounds. It's 8 pounds and then back, and then 8 pounds and then back. I mean, ridiculous. And then over the last year in 2020, I don't know, I probably gained like 12 pounds, okay? So part of this 24 is setting me back to where the heck I was at the beginning of 2020 and then adding another 12, right? I mean, taking off another 12. So even if we just took the 12 COVID away, I'm still past where I was before. And so I'm still super excited. It's really helping with my inflammation. You know, you and I have talked a lot about my inflammation issues. And it's really helped a lot. I mean, as a matter of fact, I'm about to have some bitters now, just because this is my part of the week to have some bitters.
Nice, nice. And I wanted to point that out because I know many of you might have tried programs before, and I've been with Kathy. We've been a part of companies, and they had some of the greatest supplements they said in the world. And we all sent people to try those. And like Kathy said, you just see certain people just kind of plateau. They say stalled at 7 or 8 pounds, and they just can't get past that hump. So when Kathy has lost 24 pounds, that is amazing, Kathy. I am so excited for you. Can't wait to see you on Friday as we build this flat belly lifestyle together. So good stuff. I see Mom Mitchell has turned her camera on. So
Yes, hi everybody. Oh wow, I am just so excited about this program. I just want to encourage everyone to at least try it. If you don't try anything else, try those 4 days of bitters. I mean, because it is truly amazing. And it has been so helpful. This program is helpful. Sometimes when you're listening, it may sound a little complicated, but believe me and trust me, it is not complicated. I want to thank my guests that did show up this evening. And I just encourage all of you all to take it. You all know that my promotion and my mantra is generational health. And I know we can do better. And this program will help us to get on that road to generational health. The shopping grocery list makes it easy. This is the first I've heard about the zones. And so I'm so excited to work with that because I can label my food by zones now. You know, when you have to go to the store or have it delivered, it's so easy to shop with the grocery list that we provide. And it's also, the recipes are simple. Most of the recipes have only like 4 to 6 ingredients. Honest to God, y'all, this food you can cook really fast and really good. And it's delicious. I'm telling you, it is not hard. Most of the times you think about, a new program and blah, blah, blah. This is a lifestyle change, which when Melissa says this is absolutely true. And this is what we have to start practicing is a different lifestyle. Just because we're getting old or older, that does not mean we have to get sick. Okay, so really, I just encourage everyone to at least try this program. And if you say, I just can't do another thing, just do the 4 days of the bitters and just learn as much as you can so we can get on the road to generational health.
Wow. Well, thank
you guys. Love you guys. Take care.
Hey, Melissa, are you there?
Yes. Love you too. Thank you so much, Mom Mitchell. And that was amazing. I love that term, generational health, because that's really what it's about, passing this on to the next generation and setting our kids up to win. We want to set our families up to win. And so, Willie Mooney, I think I heard you, so I'm going to let you go ahead and speak.
Hey, you know what? I just wanted to share and say thank you so much for giving us, and especially, I'm going to be selfish, especially me, the opportunity to just learn. There's a lot of stuff that you have been exposing me to and sharing with me, and I'm a health nut, but never could figure out why my gut is not getting to where it needs to get to. So even with the food, food can be so scary, but you are making this so simple and plain. And I've been sharing with people, like, the information that you're offering, there are nutritionists who would charge an arm and a leg for us to get. So I just appreciate you for the knowledge that you've gained and being very unselfish and sharing this with us, because we walk in grocery stores and we don't have any clue, and you're talking to somebody who has been trying to do this for years, and I love the results. I'm very excited. So thank you so much. I just needed to say that.
I'm Melissa. Wow, thank you so much, Willie. And it's just amazing that you shared that, because most of us walk through our life confused, and just to find the knowledge and now to be able to share it is something that I feel like it's our life's work. So thank you so much for your leadership and who you are. And you bless so many of us. And I think somebody else was trying to speak there. Who was that?
Hi, this is Bertha Mines.
Hi, how are you, sweetie? Good to see you.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. I have to tell my story, because when Kathy put me on the call, she put me on the spot a while back, and I wasn't ready, because I'd have to have documentation to speak on anything. When I came into Wakanda in June of 20, by the way, my name is Bertha Mines. I'm a Sapphire with Wakanda under Minister Mooney. When I came here, I had high blood pressure, hypertension. I fought with my doctor because at 25 milligrams of lisinopril, I refused to take unless my pressure was up. It went up and down like a yo-yo. The highest was probably like 147. I have always eaten healthy, I thought. At least I spent a lot of money on food, but I guess I was eating the wrong foods. What I have learned from you, Melissa, some of the things as we talked about, the Beyond Meat products, the lectrums in it. I ate tomatoes for snack. I was the one that took grape tomatoes in a little pouch, 5 or 6, 7 for lunch, little afternoon snack. And all the time it was sitting in my belly, causing more inflammation for the knee injury that I had for falling on the stairs in the pitway downtown. When I came here, I had so much pain in my knee. Someone had invited me to Wakanda back in July of 2019. I couldn't even tell you who invited me. I had never noticed the page until that day. And someone was talking about pain, the video, when they talk about the pain in the body and the cream. Minister Mooney and Dr. Ross post was there, and I'm like, how do I join? How do I get in? And I got on that call the next day. And when I got on that call, I knew then that I was ready. But it was tax season. And I told Minister Mooney, I can't wait. I'm gonna go ahead and join. And I am so grateful, because my pressure is down. I'm down 23 pounds. I have always gone like a yo-yo, but I had never really been a small person. Even in high school, I was a size 12, but I was never fat. I was solid. But when you can't exercise, you try to cut your foods back, but you have to walk. So I was a walker and I toned, but I was at 220 some pounds when I started at Wakana. And I have that document because I went to the doctor. She did take me off of my blood pressure pills in October because she saw it had come down a lot just for the 6 months of using the hemp brain, and probably not even 6 months because I started in June. And I am just grateful, and I can go on, but when I am not in pain and my health is under control, that's why I'm here. And I can brag about that, and I can boast about that, and I can share that because the documentation beats the conversation all day long. And that's why I post my information out there so people could see this is real. And your wealth of information on eating with what I thought I know, I threw all of mine away, and I'm listening. So I got my 23 pounds down, and I'm still going.
Wow, that is so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, Bertha. You are awesome, and I'm just so proud of you for those 23 pounds and just for you sharing tonight, and I can't wait to see the rest of your journey. I mean, and this is what this is about, ladies and gentlemen. We are working together as a group, we're working together as a family, and we're witnessing lives being changed. And so we invite you not to some radical program, but to a lifestyle. And you're going to start where you see yourself starting. It might be just starting on some of the CBD. Perhaps you want to get started with the detox. For those of you who are just sick and tired of where you're at and you want to jump all the way in, just know we're here to help you every step of the way. We have a support group. We encourage you to go to facebook.com/groups/Flat Belly Lifestyle. And that will help you get the encouragement that you need and any type of support. And so with that said, is there anyone else that wants to share? Because we have about 2 minutes left before we wrap this call up. And I'm sure there's somebody else out there. I think I see her already.
Hi, Melissa. This is Erica. So I hope you don't hear my husband snoring because I was trying to avoid him. But I just wanted to say, I'm kind of echoing Minister Mooney because I'm trying not to get teary, but I'm so thankful for this program. I can't tell you for how many years I've been trying to lose weight consistently. You know, I had my first daughter and she's 29 years old now. And so, you know, one of the things that really resonated with me that you said is that it's not your fault, right? It's the gut bugs, right? And so I've been repeating that over and over to myself because I've blamed myself. Like, how could you let yourself get to over 200 pounds? You came to Maryland, you were a size 5. What the heck happened, you know? And so I was young then, but that's still not okay. You know, so I'm just so appreciative of all the information that you're sharing with us. There's so much that I thought I knew that I realized I really didn't know. My husband is a cucumber fan. So we were always eating cucumbers and tomatoes, and we thought we were doing healthy things, but not removing the skin, not removing the seeds, all the things that I just didn't realize what I was doing. And it's really important to me. You know, I have an autoimmune disorder, MS. And so controlling that inflammation has got to happen for me, you know, and so I'm just trying, it's got to happen for us all, but it's really important to me. And so I thought I was doing a lot of right things, but I can tell you that I feel so much different now. You know, those bitters, it's just been amazing. You know, I was listening to, I can't remember who said it, but I'm watching, that was in the beginning, that I'm watching my belly go down, you know, and I'm just looking at myself differently in clothing now, and it's just been great, you know. So I just feel more confident. I'm smiling more now. If you go back and look at some of the pictures that I had on Facebook for just a couple of years ago, people like, you never smiled. I never smiled. You know, now I have no issue with doing that, and I'm just so grateful for this company and for my involvement in it. You guys have been amazing, and this program is amazing. And thank you for adding the zones, because that's going to make it even better and even easier for us to follow. And so I'm just really appreciative. But I also have a question, if that's okay. One of my people that I invited had a question. And she asked, the question is, I think it's the bitters that we're supposed to clean, that are supposed to clean you out, but I'll be starting after a colonoscopy. So will I already be cleaned out, or do I still need to detox? She's doing a colonoscopy. Will she still need to do the bitters?
Oh, I would absolutely still, recommend that you use the bitters after that, because what the bitters are doing is introducing herbs and botanicals that many of us have been missing for our diet for generations. Bitters are actually a part of a normal diet when you think about our taste buds, there's 7 different types of taste. One is sweet and salty. Well, bitters is one of our tastes, but we've avoided bitters. And as a result of that, our digestive system is dramatically slowed down. It's not really working. So now we're filling ourselves up with antacids. So even though you're going to clean and go through the colonoscopy, just know that we routinely use bitters. In fact, every quarter. For some people, they do about 4 ounces a week as maintenance. So just know that from now on, what I just suggest is bitters become a part of our overall lifestyle. We don't need to do them every day. We do them for 4 days, then we take a break, okay? And then for those who really have poor digestive habits, 4 ounces a week will give you maintenance. Other than that, you would do them every single quarter. So hopefully that answers that.
Thank you. It does. And I have one other question that I know somebody had asked me is if somebody was talking about having really loose bowels with the bitters, and is that normal, or is there something that they steep the tea too long? Like, is there something else they could do?
Yeah, now here's the challenge with certain people. It's unfortunate, but our gut bugs are really, really, really under attack. So what you would probably want to do is reduce the amount that you're taking. Instead of doing 4 ounces, or if you're doing 8 ounces all at once, go down to just a couple of ounces and see if you're still having that. You probably want to slowly introduce it, because it sounds like, unfortunately, we're all under attack. A lot of us, our good, healthy bacteria have been destroyed. So when something like that comes into our system, when it's releasing that fast, it just tells you there's a lot of crap in us that wants to come out. Sometimes it's coming out too fast because we don't want loose stools. You know, that can cause a lot of things as far as your electrolytes. So make sure you're drinking water with electrolytes, because anytime you have a continuous loose stool, then obviously, you can lose some of your vitamins and your minerals and other nutrients. So just reduce it a little bit. I would say 2 ounces twice a day. See if that helps. And don't do the coffee when you're doing the bitters, because that's probably too much for many of us. We probably should, for most people, we recommend do the bitters first, then start the coffee on day 5. So hopefully that sheds a little bit of light.
Okay, thank
And
you, Melissa.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. That was an excellent question, because sometimes a loose bowel, people would automatically be like something is wrong, instead of identifying that your body, there's the bad bacteria in your body is resisting it. And when you actually, I encourage everybody, and this is getting very transparent, but it's so necessary to evaluate your stool. Because with this particular, with the bitters, and with that detox, that cleansing, it's a good problem if you see and you look at your stool and you see stuff that you have never seen before. It's really a good problem. And your evaluation of that should be, well, look at how dark it is. If it's super dark, then okay, and it's coming out, like, okay, that's good. And you're trying to get to green, am I right? Somewhere near green. But if you are seeing stuff that you've never seen before, then okay, well, you know what? My gut health is getting better because it's pulling some stuff or drawing some stuff out of there that just needs to come out. And then the bitters allow you, and some of the supplements allow you to actually put back in, as you heard Melissa say, the good bacteria. She mentioned some of the supplements that we have, and that, the bitters and some of these herbs offer, where you're putting back in the good probiotics and prebiotics. So I'm just loving this. I'm familiar a little bit because she mentioned stuff like psyllium husk. And we were going to GNC. I was a GNC junkie, you all. And still, like, oh my God, I do not have the complete formula. That's why I'm so appreciative to what Melissa is laying out, and it's really not expensive at all compared to what I would be buying at GNC. So thank you again, Melissa.
Yeah, that was really great, Minister Mooney. One of the things that happens during a detox, parasites can come out. People don't realize that microbiome, sometimes we're loaded with parasites, which is kind of disgusting to think about, but mucus, so many things that are inside of us. And so the probiotic and the prebiotic, to kind of counteract some of that, as you're doing the bitters, that would be something also to incorporate your probiotic, your prebiotic, just to make sure you're also fortifying and multiplying the good stuff. Because if you can multiply the good stuff as you're taking the bitters, it should prevent so much of the bad stuff coming out too fast, because now you have enough good stuff in there that's also destroying those bad guys. So yeah, that was excellent, Minister Mooney, and that was a great question.
Hey, Melissa, I just want to add one other thing, if that's okay.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Sorry. And I'm just grateful for the rebounding being part of the program now, because I'm a person that, again, has MS, and so I don't walk very well. Like, I can walk to a certain extent. I can't run, but I can run on that rebounder. I can jump on that rebounder. So it's just made it so easy for me in regards to finding a way to get my cardio up. Because I do exercises with my MS Gym program and all of that, and that's great. But I was like, I can't get cardio in. And so it's just been wonderful. So I appreciate that being a part of the program. So thank you.
Nice. And you know what, that's one of the reasons we put that in the program. At cancer wards in Europe, they use rebounders. And one of the things we learned is that the astronauts, before they would go into space, they would have them rebound, because it actually accelerates your cardiovascular health and so many health benefits. It's just amazing, the benefits. So yeah, I would encourage everyone to get a rebounder. That's a big part of the program. And I'm so happy, Erica, that you're joining the rebounding movement with Dr. Roz. And you guys are inspiration to everybody. And we're going to get on that call with you guys at 8:30 so we can support the movement. I love it. So that's great.
Hello. Hi, this is Jill Bankhead. Melissa, how long did you say you could do the, after your colonoscopy, that you could do the bitters?
Well, now I would first check with your doctor as it relates to any herbs and supplements if there's a restriction, right? And again, bitters are a taste. So if you're eating sugar, if you're eating salt, bitters is just another one of our tastes. So it's a natural part of our diet. But you can mention it to your doctor just in case they might say, hey, wait a couple of days before you take anything that could be of laxative effect, right?
Oh, okay.
But it's okay to take it after. She was wanting to know, since she's already got her colonoscopy, since I'm cleaned out, do I even need to go and take bitters? Bitters are not something just to take for a clean out. It's a part of our ongoing maintenance of our health. We should always think about bitters as a taste bud.
Okay.
Melissa, this is Cheryl. I have a question about this King Chagaluka, whatever this is. When do you take these? Do you take them in the morning with the coffee or before meals? How do you take these?
Now with my supplements, I love to do my supplements first thing in the morning before I do my coffee or anything, just to kind of get it in before there's food sitting on top of my belly. So I do my King Chaga, my probiotics, all of my different things in the morning. Then later, usually about 30 minutes later, I'll do my coffee. Now with coffee, I always tell people, ours is more of a nutraceutical. So it's not like it's just regular coffee. A lot of times coffees actually can remove your vitamins and minerals, which is why they advise don't take your vitamins and minerals with coffee. Because of ours is more balanced than a typical coffee, it's not gonna necessarily interfere with it. I just, as a habit, I space it out about 30 minutes just because I do know that coffee is a natural diuretic. It tends to push things out and you kind of want to give your vitamins a chance to work before drinking.
All right, thank you.
Will you be hosting this forum anytime again soon? I missed some of it. I'm packing to go out of town and I'm just curious. I'm very interested.
Oh, definitely. One, we'll get the recording out, but then on Sundays is really the day we do our Flat Belly Lifestyle. So next Sunday, join us again. It might be a little different each time. We try to bring something new to help you. But as it relates to the system, we'll send you the video recordings out to the group. We'll get it out to the leaders so that you guys can get this out to anyone that you want to get it out to. So, okay.
Okay, so Ernestine invited me, so she'll have the recording to share.
Absolutely. I have her email, so I'll get it to her.
Thank you.
Yeah, give me about 30 minutes after we hang up and I'll get it to her.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You got it.
Melissa, this is Erica. I have a question. So this will take place every Sunday at the same time with the same link for how long?
Well, we went a little later today because of certification, so it'll be a little earlier. So normally it's going to be at 5 o'clock. Yeah, and it'll be throughout our challenge. So we'll have different, I may be here, maybe another speaker, but yeah, we want to do this to give everybody a support system for questions, just to kind of keep everybody accountable and just to ensure you guys get all your questions answered. So, yeah,
So that's 5 p.m. Central every Sunday throughout the entire challenge.
Except certification. And if it's certification, it's going to be at 7:30 on certification nights.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Hello.
Hey, Dr. Betty.
Hey. So hi, everybody here. I'll even turn my camera on. Hi, everybody. So I just wanted to say that that was an excellent question about the colonoscopy and the cleansing that you do for that. Well, actually, that is just like an enema, and it just flushes everything out. Whereas our bitters will actually not only help to detox you, but also help to nourish your system, your systems of elimination. So that is a bit different. And then I wanted to say that not only people that have a lot of excess pounds need to be on this program. So I weigh 140 pounds. I'm 5'6.5". But you know, as you age, you start getting excess little rolls and and what have you. So I have a little muffin top. And at 71, I'm ready for it to go. I mean, it just showed up about little less than a year ago with this, you know, pandemic pounds, but still there's waste there, WASTE. And so it's not so much the weight or the waist, my waistline, although it could stand to lose a couple of inches, it's really the waste that we're looking to lose from our bodies. And then I just want to say thanks, Melissa. The information you share is just really priceless. Somebody mentioned, I think it was Minister Mooney, mentioned that people pay dietitians for this kind of information, but believe me, generally speaking, registered dietitians don't have all of that information. They give you some very basic information. They don't talk about lectins and these kinds of things, as Melissa has so thoroughly researched and shared with us. So yeah, so this information is worth its weight in gold, and all you have to do is follow the program. That's all.
Love it, Dr. Betty. So for all of us in the 140s, we're working on our flat bellies too, right? So let's do it.
Okay, Melissa, I have a quick question before we go, if it's okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm one of the people 2 weeks before I started my bitters, I had a colonoscopy. So by day 3 of the bitters, my stomach was griping pretty good. So I didn't go any far. I couldn't go any farther than that. Was that okay? I do believe I was quite empty after just the first 2 days, but by day 3, I couldn't take it anymore.
And we understand that feeling. Yeah, that happens at times. The bitters are strong, guys. I mean,
they are.
You know your body. So yeah, if you felt that way, I mean, hey, I'm too late to that sometimes. You're like, I'm empty, no more.
Okay, so it was okay for me to because I do believe I was quite empty by then anyway. So
we're going to do it another time in a quarter. So, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's a quarterly update. So you'll check back in again with yourself. And then as long as daily you're having eliminations, right? Because
absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
No problem.
Can I just say one more thing? So yeah, I started to have that same experience about day 3. And so all I did was decrease the amount of the tea that I was drinking, and that kind of plateaued everything out. So I was still having a few extra eliminations, but I wasn't getting that griping feeling, and I wasn't getting loose stool.
I'm trying to get with this. Did you video text me or call me or something? Video?
Shirley.
No, I'm saying, did you video me? Chat.
No.
Shirley.
No, I didn't. Okay, well, something's going on with my phone, and all of a sudden it showed up with you, with your name, and all that.
Can you mute Shirley? I don't know who's on the moderator. I can't mute.
Okay. Bye for now.
It's Shirley.
There we go.
Everything is bright light. So I had another quick question about the bitters. So I have made some just to keep on, but how long does it last in the refrigerator once it's made? Any idea?
I went ahead and let me see if our herbalist, that was a good question. Somebody actually sent me a text regarding that. I sent it to our herbalist just to get you an accurate answer, because I know it lasts for a little bit, but I don't want to give you a wrong answer. So let me get that and I'll have that for you guys next week. But in the meanwhile, Eric, I'll get it to you at least.
Awesome. Thank you.
Melissa, this is Bertha again. I have one other thing I would like to share. I have been constipated all of my life, and I do mean all of my life, even doing childbirth. The bitters for me, one person asked, I think last week on the call, she said it took her 3 days. She was on day 2, and she had not had an elimination from the bitter. It took me to the 3rd day. That's how constipated I be. So I use the bitter once per week. But since I started these babies, I go to the bathroom every single day. And I do mean every day. Never in my life have I had an elimination every day. Y'all don't know how happy this sister is. So I call these a new name, Shikanga. That's the new name, because they have done something that I have never, ever done. So I have to share. I mean, Dolly make fun of me because I gave him a new name.
I love that because, you know, we get that a lot. I mean, that if you guys have not tried the King T'Chaka, you got to try it, especially for people that struggle with elimination. I can't tell you how many people have contacted us to let us know they're having longer, bigger bowel movements, which is what you want. They say, you know, that's kind of gross, but it's what you want. They said it should look like a snake is in the toilet. That's how you should eliminate. It should be fast. You shouldn't be on the toilet for 10 minutes, right? So King T'Chaka is going to help you get there, okay? So I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, this has been amazing, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we can probably keep going on and on with all these amazing stories and testimonials. I want to just thank everybody that shared today. I mean, that just really helps all of us. And that point you made, Dr. Betty, regarding reducing your bitters, I thought that was excellent. So for those who have those loose bowels or just something, whatever's going on where you get that feeling on day 3, maybe take 1 ounce, okay, twice a day, right? Get to that point where you can still take a little bit, but get comfortable. I thought that was great. And so with that said, guys, you're going to hear us again next Sunday. So join us back at 5 o'clock. You can go to flatbellylifestyle.com, share that with all your guests. And if you are on cell phone, use password 710. If you're on computer, flatbellylifestyle.com will take you right there. So 5 p.m. Central next Sunday. Thank you, guys. Amazing. Appreciate everybody. Let's give it up for everyone tonight. You guys rock.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.
Have a good evening, everyone.
You are wonderful.
Appreciate you.
Thank
Love
you.
you all. Everybody, thank you, my
Melissa.
life.
Thank
All right, it's been a blessing, been a blessing to be in your presence. Thanks.
Thanks, Melissa.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Melissa.
Enjoy every moment. Blessings and blessings.
She was coming and he made her laugh. He was running tough speed, so he was out of breath. Not to no man down.
Boy, so much.
Making move to an abandoned building. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Let me contact Minister Mooney.
Hey, yes, let's contact Mr. Mooney right now.
I am.
Awesome.
I'm calling from DC.
Woo, DC is in the house.
Yes.
That is great. Great stuff, guys.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.